San Diego is known as a hub for biotechnology, but what about green technology like solar power? Many people are banking on San Diego to become a powerful center for the development of green tech. And joining me to talk about the growth of clean technology in San Diego is KPBS environment and business reporter Ed Joyce. Welcome, Ed.
Nice to be here, Gloria.
All right, I use the word clean technology. I use the word green technology. What are we talking about?
They're interchangeable terms. Really, we're talking about clean industries such as solar, wind, or so-called clean industries, solar, wind, algae, biofuels, that kind of development, energy sources.
So tell us about this group called CleanTech San Diego. Who are they? How long have they been around? What do they do?
Well, it started in 2007. It's essentially an industry trade group. It's a nonprofit, and they have clustered together all of these companies that are working in clean tech or the green economy in San Diego. They number about 758 companies now. That includes researchers, algae, biofuels, solar, wind technology. All of these firms, academic institutions as well, are members in this group. And the whole idea is to develop this cluster in this group to develop jobs in this new clean or green economy, clean tech.
Jobs, that's a magic word. Everybody wants to develop jobs, but what reason do they think that this is all going to grow?
Well, what's driving this is the world's need, essentially, to get away from fossil fuels, specifically oil, and the causes of greenhouse gas emissions from burning those fuels, coal and oil, for example. So there's this great drive across the world and in San Diego County also to develop these alternative sources of fuel, alternative sources, I should say, of energy, such as algae fuels, for example, or solar or wind technology.
Certainly we're hearing more about it than we had heard in the past, but I'm wondering how much of our economy this would really impact.
Well, it has the potential really to impact throughout our economy, because we're looking at alternative energy sources and fuel sources of the future that are being, modified now to be used in the present too. But looking down the road, the whole idea is to get away from the dependency on foreign oil, for example, in this country, and to move toward those alternative sources. We can't continue to use oil and coal as we have had in the past without these effects to the climate, for example.
But, when we talk about jobs, we wonder, what are we talking about in terms of numbers of jobs? How many jobs could this actually provide?
Well, it could be unlimited. I mean, if it's a whole new industry sector that's developing right now, the growth rate has been tremendous. The state of California, one of the workforce people told me that the growth rate has been about 36% over a 10-year period. While the economy is shrinking in other sectors, this clean tech sector is really developing. I mean, there's a push worldwide for these alternative energy, renewable energy sources. China is investing billions and billions of dollars in coming up with the new solutions using solar, wind, and other alternatives.
Well, so when we look at that worldwide perspective that you were talking about, how is San Diego positioned in order to take advantage of this global interest in clean tech?
Well, just this week they became part of an international association which tends to cluster these groups, and they use this clustering as one way to share information, to woo investors, to share ideas, and to promote essentially what they're developing in the companies in those clusters. So San Diego has a clean tech cluster. They're part of this larger group now internationally, and they hope to share those ideas and export some of those technologies and what they're developing in San Diego to other countries.
So geographically, is there an advantage to where we are located in terms of this clean technology sphere?
Well, San Diego has kind of the ecosystem that's necessary for the clean tech sector. You've got academic researchers and institutions. You have a lot of companies now developing solar and wind technologies. There's just a whole makeup of support that's based here that's developing and growing that.
When you talk about academic institutions, are we actually seeing a thrust at the university level to try to develop this or even educate people so that they can become part of this?
Certainly. The community colleges have some funding, federal funding, state funding for some training programs. UCSD, of course, and SDSU doing a lot of research. University of San Diego is also involved in the clean tech space. So everybody's kind of got a little piece of the pie here, and it looks promising for the future.
You know what I find really interesting in that is people are so pessimistic about the future and jobs and careers, but it sounds to me as though maybe the future for clean tech has a different perspective.
Well, the sector is growing, and there's no stopping that growth. I mean, it's the rest of the economy has been contracting in some ways, but that sector's been growing because of that push for those renewable energy sources.
Ed Joyce, thank you very much.
Nice to be here.